Do movie-going viewers have too much power, Ryder? Tell me a little bit about this question we got going today.
Okay, so of course everyone knows about what's been going on, and that's Morbin time. Morbin time has been sweeping the internet. The memes have been flooding, and we've seen this a lot of times where fans have kind of controlled the box office, and sometimes it's for good, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And so yeah, our first kind of discussion is about Morbius kind of getting a new release, right? A re-release, and even Jared Leto talking about the memes itself. I mean, kind of
Oh, the
break
script
down what's
meme
happening,
that he
what's going
did.
on. Yeah,
So I mean, as you know, Morbius bombed in theaters, right? It became a
yeah.
hilarious joke. People then started
Hmm.
joking about it too much to where it started trending all the time and everything. And then the
Yeah.
jokes became unfunny very fast. And, they're like, oh my God, there's so much hype on Morbius right now. Let's re release it in theaters for a weekend, try to get some
Uh,
extra cash out of this. And then it becomes funny again because it bombs. It only makes $85,000 across the 1,000 theaters that it released to. Only
yeah.
$85,000 to keep in this, like, to put this into perspective here.
Respect.
Everything Everywhere All at Once has been out for months now. Made $2 million last weekend, and it's been out for
Oh
so
wow.
long, and it's still a smaller film than Morbius. You know what I mean? So Morbius only
Crazy.
making less than 100 grand at a
That
thousand
is
theaters.
bad. That's so bad. I think what's that, like $85 a theater? Like only
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple,
something
like
like
three or
that.
four people are seeing it.
Oh, it's so
That's
sad, dude.
crazy. So another thing I brought up is we've seen this before with the Snyder Cut, of course. Everybody knows about how fans can come together and a fan base can build something. We've seen it, how a full franchise, a full company has invested millions of dollars to bring something that the fans want. And
Yeah,
so I guess, the question is, sometimes I think fans, they become not what's the word? They're enabled to
sure.
continue this trend because of how studios are like, it started with Snyder Cut, maybe with some more franchises, but I think I think it needs to be used for good. And I think sometimes, not that this is for bad Morbius, it's just funny joke, but it's also kind of like, think about, you have an impact, your voice has an
Yeah,
impact when it comes to social media and what you want.
right.
And we also see that in a negative way. I also wanted to bring up, there's toxic fandoms like Star
Totally.
Wars and
This
Marvel.
is,
You
yep,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I feel like these voices are sometimes too vocal because that's all we hear about.
Yeah,
You saw Ewan McGregor; he had to verbally apologize and
yeah,
make a statement about the kind of hate that Moses Ingram was getting for her
yeah,
character in the new Obi-Wan series.
right.
And I just think, last point on this is that the positive voices should be the ones standing out. The
Right.
positive feedback and the kind of input to these shows and fandoms should be the ones standing out. We shouldn't have to hear about
Here's the
Star
issue.
Wars toxic fandoms.
The issue is that the people that have their voices heard are the people that are disagreeing or are angry or are mean people or the
Mhm.
toxicity that you see, because those are the voices that get pushed the most, because that's the most attention it's
Mhm.
bringing to them. People can agree with the positive points, but the disagreements that arise with the negative comments always farm engagement, and that's how things go viral. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
not, you don't see a lot of positive things going viral. Most of the things you see
No,
is like
yeah. Yeah.
controversial or
Yeah.
stuff like that, and that gets clicks. That gets clicks, and that sells. So
Mhm.
it,
Absolutely.
I think that feeds specifically in fandoms like Marvel, Star Wars.
Mhm.
I mean Snyder, like all this. You know what I mean? These fandoms cultivate a lot of both positivity and negativity, and they're fun to
Mhm.
talk about. They're fun to talk about. So when somebody has
Yeah.
a negative opinion or is pushing something, people will group to that and everybody will see it. It's very interesting. I mean, we even see it with a certain character in Doctor Strange. If you haven't seen it yet, that was a very fan thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Marvel posted that, dude, on their social media.
Oh,
They
they
posted
posted
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we could say
John
the
Krasinski in
casting. Yeah.
Fantastic Four. And people have been
That's a
talking about that
positive
for
one for
years.
sure.
Is it?
Mhm.
Is it positive?
Well, I think it's like, hey, we're listening to the fans of fan casting. Like, if it's just a little
Sure.
thing,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
here's my thing, right? Initially, if it's just that in that movie and it's done, like, that's like great. You did it for us, that's fine. But if it could be grow out of proportion
Right,
where
right, right. And
we're ruining movies now, most
that's great because
probably. Because
they want to
yeah,
appease the fans because the fans are going to keep
yeah,
them funded and keep them going. But
hmm,
I also don't want the fans to always make their decisions. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they
absolutely.
are. I'm not saying they are. But
No, yeah,
like
no.
sometimes the fans don't know what's best, such as this Ewan McGregor or
Hmm.
all the mean things people are saying to Moses Ingram. Like how are they? How are studios and people listening gonna differentiate from what's good or bad when sometimes the bad stuff makes them money? Not to say
Exactly.
in the
Yeah,
hate stuff that they send to Moses, because that's a whole different
yeah,
ball game.
different
But
vibe. Yeah.
yeah, it's just very interesting. your words on social media do matter, and you have to be careful about what you say. That's not to say
Yeah.
that you can't voice your positive or negative opinions, but it's
Just
very interesting.
put some consideration. Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
think about before you post, for sure, every
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm with you. I'm good.
That's all I got, baby. So do
Yeah.
moviegoers have too much power? Let us know in the comments what you think about all this. If you want to listen to the full episode, full video episode, you can become a member right here on Strictly Casual, or listen for free on all audio platforms. Google, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. It's all up there. Love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bam.